Last Sunday, the Dallas Cowboys clinched a wild-card berth, as did the Atlanta Falcons. And on Monday night, the New Orleans Saints got back to winning ways with a 27-0 victory over the LA Raiders. This not only gave the Saints a wild-card spot, but also eliminated the Eagles and the 49ers. It also gave John Elway and the Denver Broncos the AFC Western Division crown. And today in our main match, the final place in the playoffs will be decided. Gary's in Buffalo looking at a team in search of a division title. Another chance to go to the Super Bowl. There's not many left. And there's all the results and scores from around the league.
You're unbelievable.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome. If you had told me before the season that the 49ers, Eagles and Giants wouldn't be in the playoffs, I'd probably have laughed. But they're not, and I have to admit, the traditionalist in me will miss them. The likes of Lawrence Taylor, Jerry Rice and Reggie White have always come up with the goods during the postseason, but I'm sure others will fill the void. At the beginning of every season, it's every player's goal to reach the playoffs. If you miss them, you failed. A good record is nice, but the only thing that really counts is making it to the final dance. All the aches, pains and heartache of the regular season are forgotten if you're playing after Christmas. In the fans' and owners' eyes, you've succeeded. The players are heroes and the hard slog has all been worth it. But rarely does it come down to this. Two teams meeting in their last game of the regular season with everything on the line. It's success or failure, heroes or goats, in or out for the Dolphins or Jets, as they do battle today for the final playoff berth.
Earlier in the year, Sammy Smith epitomised the frustrations of the Dolphins. Not once, but twice he fumbled on the goal line, but he didn't stand alone in his folly. Dan Marino's credit improved with his new $25 million contract, but not his line, and it was opposing defences making deposits, not Dan. The previous consistent high yields of the Marx brothers had quickly depreciated. It was time for Chancellor Schuler to step in. Higgs for Smith took care of the withdrawals, and almost immediately Duper's and Clayton's yields improved, and the economy, according to Marino, was back on its feet. Unfortunately for the team, these early woes have continued on defence. The loss of John Offerdale has left a tremendous void in the middle of the field. Jeff Cross has maintained a high level of pressure up front, and Lewis Oliver continues to lead in the secondary. But it's clear that this game will be won for the Dolphins on offence, not defence. With the help of a solid offensive line and the consistent running of Blair Thomas and Brad Baxter, the Jets lead the conference in two important categories: rushing attempts and time of possession. Unfortunately, this hasn't translated into victories. At 7-8, they know they should be better, but Ken O'Brien's performance has mirrored the team's. Inconsistent. Last week, it was an injured Pat Leahy and the kicking game that failed them in their 6-3 loss to the Patriots. But the blame throughout the season must be shared. For second-year head coach Bruce Coslett to qualify for his first playoffs, his offense, defense and special teams all must click, as playoff veterans Marino and Schuler traditionally are firing on all cylinders when the stakes are so high.
So without further ado, let's go over to Joe Robbie Stadium. The Dolphins on their first possession had an opportunity to take an early lead, but Pete Stoyanovich missed this 54-yard field goal. We pick up the action on the next play from scrimmage. The fans are going wild.
Johnny Hector gets the carry, and Hector pounds away for a 9-yard gain to the Jet 45-yard line. Lewis Oliver forced to make the tackle. He's made a lot of them for the Dolphin defense. That's his 81st of the season. He leads the team in tackles. 3 tight ends here for the Jets on second down. Chris Dressel is one of them in motion, and the pass to Rob Moore complete for a New York first down, just short of midfield. J.B. Brown yep on the tackle to knock Moore out of bounds. Rob Moore is the second leading receiver for New York. That's his 65th catch of the season.
Well, what set this play up was actually that first down run. That play went off tackle, broke back up the middle of that Miami defense. Miami's nose tackle, Klingbeil, he's playing with a bad right knee, and he is also their 5th nose tackle in there. The 2 linebackers right in the middle for Miami weren't their first-string linebackers, and so this is the soft spot of the defense.
Here's a play-action pass from O'Brien. Pulled it down and then tried to toss it off incomplete for Baxter. Baxter took a pretty good hit from Brian Cox. Joe, did he double clutch intentionally, or did the ball just kind of slip out of his hand as he tried to deliver it?
Well, he just threw a bad pass to Baxter. O'Brien stayed calm back there in the pocket. He's got pretty good protection that he'll step up into, but it's the coverage downfield of the Dolphins that have taken away his receivers. Now when he gets back up in there, he just misfires and misses Baxter. Kenny could have run the ball for maybe 8 or 10 yards, but he's not looking to run.
Brian Cox, the rookie linebacker of the Dolphins, who made that hit, a little shaken up, hurt his shoulder, replaced by the veteran Hugh Green. Brian had plenty of chances to run last week against New England, but he told us he really has to focus to run. He doesn't like to. Blair Thomas carries across the 50 and into Dolphin territory down to the 48-yard line. Mike Reichenbach on the tackle, and there are the numbers for Blair Thomas, who has been a disappointment. In fact, Bruce Kozlik telling us he has yet to prove that he can consistently get the job done under any kind of conditions. And a lot of people are writing in New York, and a lot of fans starting to talk about whether Blair Thomas was indeed a first-round draft choice. 4 wide receivers on for the Jets. It's 3rd down and 6. O'Brien's pass complete to Mathis, who fights for a first down. Good run by Terrence Mathis after he made the reception. Lewis Oliver and Bobby Harden force him out of bounds, but a good run got the first.
Well, on the top of the screen, you'll see 81 breakout. Now 25, Lewis Oliver, one of the best, hardest hitters in the league, best tacklers, misses the tackle. I think Oliver is sometimes over-aggressive, you know. He comes up there, he fired up there that time and missed the tackle. Had he broken down under control, he'd have stopped Mathis short of the first down.
Jets have yet to beat a team with a winning record, but could make the playoffs with a victory over Miami today. When they beat Miami earlier, the Dolphins were only 2-2. O'Brien, quick pass in the flat, complete to Thomas. Blair Thomas gets 4 yards, just short of the Dolphin 35-yard line. Lewis Oliver on another tackle. Blair Thomas is the 3rd leading receiver for the Jets. His 30th catch of the season.
I tell you, the Jets did a wise thing there, since it's a successful play, of course. They put Thomas out wide that time. They forced coverage by a safety on the speedy running back. They'll take that kind of coverage all day long. They'd love to match up Lewis Oliver one-on-one with Blair Thomas.
Jets driving on their 2nd possession of the game, scoreless, 6.5 left first quarter. Draw play to Thomas. Room to run outside. Now cuts it back, and Blair Thomas with a first down deep into Dolphin territory. And Al Toon, the veteran receiver, downfield with a good block. Mike Reichenbach finally having to make the tackle on Thomas from behind.
Well, the flow goes away from Thomas. It'll go to the left of the screen. You see everybody's pulling over there. Now Thomas cuts back, and there's excellent blocking on the outside. Odoms is taken out nicely by the lead block, and good. That was Dave Cadigan getting downfield. The guard showing some hustle. And watch 88, Al Toon, right there in A.B. Brown's face.
First down Jets at the 23 of Miami. Baxter pounds to the 15-yard line. Reichenbach and Cox, the linebackers, being taken for a ride, though, by Baxter, who had the legs driving. Baxter, of course, is the money man when it gets close to the goal line. He has scored 9 touchdowns this season. Baxter spun down by Reichenbach. And I think he's short of the first down.
Yeah, but this is the kind of drive that Baxter and his Jets need. They're keeping the ball away from Marino. Miami, other than that first series, really haven't shown the Jets that they can stop their running attack. Bruce Kozlik knows that. He knows he wants to run the football and mix in the passing. But by running the ball against the defense, it's not really good. He's keeping it away from Marino and his potential scoring.
3rd and 1 on the 10th play of the drive. You see the rushing attack for the Jets. They have 3 tight ends in this formation. Dressel in motion. Baxter thrown back by the defense. I don't think he made it, and the ball came loose. Scrambled for the football. Cliff Odom, the man that put the hit on Baxter. They'll unstack him. Baxter recovered a fumble earlier. He carries the ball and coughs it up here.
You know, you can draw up all the defenses you want, the X and O's and all this, run all these plays, but if you don't hold on to the ball, Jack, you're not going to win the game. But you got to give credit to the defense that time. That looked like a hard hit on Baxter.
It will be enough for the Jets first down as they recover the ball and get enough yardage as well. Here it is.
Oh, a square hit. Boom, right there, and the ball comes loose. I can't tell who made the hit. There were 3 Dolphins right there.
Odom, I think, the man that really pounded him. Now the Jets have been inside the 20 in the red zone, second in the NFL, trailing only Buffalo, but they often don't do well, especially the last 3 weeks, all losses. O'Brien's pass complete on the sideline to Dressel. The big tight end tiptoes down and makes the catch at the Dolphin 4-yard line.
Well, the Jets caught the Dolphins. You know, they've been having trouble getting in from inside the 20. But what Costlet has done today, look at those numbers. They just haven't gotten in the last 3 weeks. But, of course, again, we keep talking about the last 3 weeks. Tom, they lost to 2 first-place teams, Buffalo and Detroit. This last play, the Jets opened up with 3 tight ends in there and then went to the passing play. This is different for Bruce Costlet inside the 20.
Costlet and Ken O'Brien telling us yesterday the Jets plan to employ the tight ends in the passing game much more today. Baxter burrows his way to about the 2. Jeff Cross will get credit for the tackle as the power runner Baxter being used extensively in this drive. It's been a good mix of run and pass.
Yeah, I wonder if Baxter's thinking about fumbling right now. You know, when you get hit early in the game, you drop the ball, put it on the ground. You just don't forget about it like that. I'm sure Baxter's more concerned with holding on to that ball right now than fighting for 2 or 3 extra yards.
Here's Roger Duffy lined up as a tight end for the Jets on 3rd down and inches. And the give to Freeman McNeil to the goal line, and it'll be 1st and goal, New York. Freeman McNeil, the veteran, 11 years out of UCLA, coming into the game for the first time and carrying on that play.
Boy, you talk about a quality back, a guy that has seen most of it. Watch how he gets off his feet up over there, fights for that first down. He's averaging over 6 yards a carry this year in his 11th season.
And at the end of the season, he'll set an NFL record, 11 straight years with a rushing average over 4 yards a carry. 1st and goal, Jets. Didn't get in. Stopped inside the 1 by the center of that Miami defense with Chuck Klingbeil leading the charge.
You just got to wonder when O'Brien's going to come with the play action pass. You know, you're darned if you do and darned if you don't here because it's so close to that goal line. You think the quarterback can sneak it over there. Why try a pass? We're so close. But if that defense is stacked in there tight again, I wouldn't be surprised to see O'Brien come with a play action.
It is a tight formation both ways. Inside the 1 on 2nd and goal. Burkett in motion. Baxter dives. Touchdown.
Very efficient drive by the Jet offense. I mean, they took control of the ball after the missed field goal, and the offensive line more or less dominated the line of scrimmage. Here there's a nice hole for Baxter. Well, a nice pile that he can get over anyway with the dive. Nice drive by these Jets.
Brad Baxter with his 10th rushing touchdown of the season. And the Jets are on the board. Now here's the new kicker. Raul Alegre just signed this week. He was working on his master's degree at the University of Texas in Austin in civil engineering when they called. Released by the Giants in November. And his first kick as a Jet, a little low but through. And Raul Alegre feels a little better as the Jets soar to the lead.
Welcome back. Punter Reggie Roby unfortunately injured his Achilles tendon on the Dolphins' first possession of the 2nd quarter. We rejoin the game on the Jets' following drive.
Jets with the football and a 7-0 lead early in the 2nd quarter. The ball all the way back to the New York 9-yard line. O'Brien on play action with plenty of time. Lost it high in the air. That's like a pop fly. Penalty markers down and the ball incomplete. Toon in a jump ball with J.B. Brown. And that was a bad looking throw.
It was one of those wobbly ducks that we throw up there in the air sometimes, but that ugly, wobbly throw may turn out to be O'Brien's biggest throw of the game so far, because it appears that the Jets are going to have an interference call go their way.
Lewis Oliver.
Pass interference. Number 25, defense.
Oliver is hot.
Well, it's called now. It's over with, and they're going to have to get the game on because the official's not going to change his call. It might have been a bad call, Lewis, but it's made. Let's take a look at it, see if you can tell. Number 25 right in the middle of the screen here on the bottom is going to get over there and then bump Toon somehow. That's who they call the penalty on, but I don't see it yet. That's Brown holding Toon back. I guess they called that on Brown instead of Oliver because Oliver wasn't anywhere near the play.
It amounts to a 42-yard penalty, and it puts the Jets at the 49. Meanwhile, the Dolphin punter, Reggie Roby, being taken for x-rays after injuring his knee. Jim Jensen is the backup. That play blown dead and a penalty marker down. Jim Jensen, Mr.
Game, offense, 5 yards, still first down.
McCarter with a delay call against the Jets.
Inexcusable. This is something that really baffles me. I mean, the Jets had all that time during the argument by Oliver to the officials to get their play ready and go. Meantime, Costlett's offense gets a delay of the game penalty called. I can't understand that.
Penalty puts the football back to the Jet 46-yard line, and the fans still letting their displeasure with the penalty be known. Draw play, Blair Thomas trying to pick his way forward, nothing there. Loss of one. Defense led by Chuck Klingbeil, the nose tackle.
What is that?
We're told that Reggie Roby may have injured his Achilles tendon, being tended to in the locker room. And as we said, the backup punter is Jim Jensen, who does just about everything for this football team. But a powerful weapon. The league's leading punter, Reggie Roby, may be injured. And now Blair Thomas, the Jets' leading rusher, limps to the sideline. Both teams predicted this would be a hard-fought, hard-hitting game. O'Brien, tight end, Boyer can't hold on. Well, a lot of teams would like to be in the position of playing for the playoffs. Some writers have said that neither of these teams belongs. You get a lot of argument from the players and coaches. Strike!
Oh,
Burkett.
my goodness, what a catch!
Chris Burkett from Ken O'Brien for a Jet first down. J.B. Brown made the tackle, and Chris Burkett named this week as the Jets' most valuable player for 1991 with a diving clutch reception.
Burkett, 87, top of the screen's going to come inside, make a break. Now watch where O'Brien puts the ball, and Burkett will leave his feet and then double catch it there. He brings it back into his chest. I mean, that was a fine catch. O'Brien, it starts here with the pass protection, is afforded excellent protection to wait on Burkett to get that deep.
Clutch catch by Chris Burkett, his 23rd of the season, none bigger. Hector. Johnny Hector to the 30 of the Dolphins. Tackle there made by Brian Cox. Chris Burkett, overwhelmingly named the Jets MVP, had his brother killed in an automobile accident, and a year ago thought about quitting football. Now the Jets MVP, and with a clutch reception on that last play for a New York first down. 7-0 Jets here. You see the clock ticking down. Second quarter. O'Brien's got a man wide open. Hector can't hold it. Johnny Hector wide open at the 5. O'Brien's pass took him on a 360, and he couldn't hold on.
Not the best throw by O'Brien. Hector on the left side of the screen is going to sneak out and run a little circle pattern right down the middle. He adjusts nicely, but lets it go through his hands. He might have jumped just a hair early. They were just off a little bit, but O'Brien found a big hole back there in that secondary. That's twice now that O'Brien has chosen to go to his running back and his tight end in that passing situation.
The Jets using running backs and tight ends over the middle effectively here in the first half. O'Brien chased from the pocket, picks up a convoy, and now will run. Wishes he hadn't. He's to the 25 and hit hard there by the master of the big hit, Louis Oliver.
Yeah, but I'll tell you something. O'Brien did the right thing there. There was not a receiver open downfield, and O'Brien knows the importance of yardage for this field goal attempt. Pretty good blocking, but he gets flushed out of the pocket toward us. Now, there is nobody open downfield. He smartly takes it up, wraps the ball up nicely. He just wants to get that field goal possession back.
And now Allegre, who played in 3 games for the Giants this season when Matt Barr was injured. He hasn't missed a kick officially this season. 6 for 6 now, points after, and 2 for 2 in field goals. 43-yard attempt. No good. Kicking continues to be a problem for the New York Jets.
When the Jets and Dolphins met earlier this season, they started in their normal high-scoring, spectacular fashion.
It's a 3rd and 3 at the 17. And O'Brien with the wide open round ball for a touchdown. As we get underway in the second quarter, and Marino popping one deep. Touchdown!
The turning point came just seconds before halftime, when Chris Burkett blocked and returned a Reggie Roby punt 11 yards for a touchdown. Miami never regained any momentum, and when Eric McMillan returned this interception 73 yards for a touchdown, it signaled a 41-23 thrashing in favor of the New York Jets. We pick up the action later in the second quarter. The Dolphins have a field goal attempt to try and get on the scoreboard.
Stojanovic from 41. No good. Oh, my. Each team has missed a field goal, and the score remains Jets 7, Dolphins nothing.
I'm not an expert kicker, but if your balance isn't proper, then you're going to push or pull. Right here, Stoyanovic's left foot kind of gives way, and he's leaning way back, leaves the ball out to the right.
Stojanovic missing from 41 yards, missed earlier from 54 yards. Allegre missed one for the Jets. Freeman McNeil turns the corner and is stopped at the 29-yard line. Gain of about 5 yards before Mike Reichenbach makes the tackle. Jets have outrushed the Dolphins by 60 yards. About this football game, a lot of people saying neither team deserves to be in the playoffs, but the coaches and the players all say this is what it's about. Don't worry about the records. We deserve it. That's what they play the season for.
Oh, I agree. There are a lot of people out there playing today that wish they had this opportunity, and I hope Santa Claus remembers my address at my house because my daughters are waiting for him.
O'Brien hands to Hector. Johnny Hector gets a yard. J.B. Brown up from the secondary to make the tackle. Inside the 2-minute mark, the Jets clinging to a 7-0 lead. We were asking some of the Dolphins and some of the Jets what they wanted for Christmas, and they all had the same answer. They hoped Santa would put another week of practice in their stocking. They like to be practicing on Christmas Day. O'Brien's pass, good for a first down to Rob Moore. Moore had an idea where those sticks were. He got enough for the first down, and then Vesty Jackson makes the stop. Didn't get out of bounds, though. The clock continues to roll.
I tell you, this is out of respect for Dan Marino. O'Brien is running that clock, knowing that he has his timeouts left, and there's plenty of time as long as you have some timeouts, but they don't want to give Marino any chance to get the ball back. I think the Jets should start moving it up a little bit now, though, because they realistically have a chance to get in scoring position.
O'Brien intercepted. Cliff Odom on the deflected pass. Jeff Cross hit it first, and then Cliff Odom caught it as they tried to go across the middle once too often. Joe, why would you waste all that much time keeping Marino off the field and then throw a pass over the middle?
Oh, well, they fully intended to try and score. I think Jeff Cross is the big man. I mean, it's pressure up front right there. Jeff Cross is the guy that hits the arm. Look at the receiver was wide open. Al Toon was wide open down the middle. Right there is a play by the defensive end that saved a big completion, possibly another score, and sets up his team to get a score. Jeff Cross just made a fine defensive play.
Cross hit O'Brien's arm. Reichenbach got a hand on it, and Odom had his first interception. 32 seconds left in the half. Marino wants points before halftime. Quickly unloads, and that's almost picked off by the Jets. Mike Brim, I think the pass was intended for Scott Miller. There was a knot of players right at that point, and Brim almost had the interception.
Well, I tell you, these guys just ran together down here. They just get all crossed up, and Duper never got inside for the ball because of this mix-up here. It looked like an attempted screen play, but Duper couldn't fight his way through.
Mike Brim almost had the interception. He has 4 on the season. Marino tackled by Bird, his second sack of the day. Marino even tried to pass while Bird was in the process of making the tackle, but it looked like Bird pinned his arm.
Oh, this is big. This is so important for the Jets to be able to get back there and harass Marino. Conversely, Marino knows he needs his pass protection, but Bird just does a wonderful job.
6 defensive backs on for the Jets. 21 seconds left. This is a third down play. Marino drills it. Pass complete to Clayton, and Mark Clayton has a first down at the 35 of the Jets as Marino stops the clock with 14 seconds left. Lonnie Young finally stopped Clayton, but Marino drilled it right in there.
Big hole in the middle of the defense. How do you let Mark Clayton run free like that? Well, folks, it's a zone, what they call a zone defense. All of the defenders go to an area. They don't pay attention to the receivers right away. And I tell you, I'd be paying attention to this guy all the time. I'd have him man covered at least with some zone help all the time.
There's Stojanovic, who has missed 2 field goals today. The Jets leading 7-0. There are 14 seconds remaining in the first half. The Dolphins trying to get some points before intermission. It hit 14 in a row before missing first from 54 yards and then from 41. Talking to James Hasty, the cornerback of the Jets, yesterday about covering Mark Clayton. And he said one thing Clayton does is jaw at you all day. He'll be talking to you. And I asked Hasty if he ever talked back. He said, no, I don't want to waste the energy. It's hard enough staying up with Mark Clayton.
Yeah, but I like that. Clayton does it out of fun. He does it to distract the defense. Clayton's a fine ball player.
Another 1,000 yards.
Oh, a lateral, a lateral, a lateral.
Jensen wide open. Martin out of bounds. 7 seconds left. And now in field goal range.
Well, this is just going to be a lateral pass to Jensen, who's going to go across here. You'll see the ball flowing backward. You see the ball going back. Now Jensen's going to get his open receiver there. The Jets bite on it. It was a very deceptive, well-executed play for the Dolphins.
7 seconds left in the first half. 7-0 Jets. The ball at the 18-yard line of New York.
If Marino weren't your quarterback, you'd be kicking the field goal right now. But because he's in there, you're going to give it one more shot to the TV.
4 wide receivers. Marino. Touchdown. Clayton. Stoyanovich for the extra point with no time left. And the game is tied. Dan Marino hitting Mark Clayton for an 18-yard scoring pass with no time left in the half. And it's a 7-7 game, and the Jets-Dolphins battle for the playoffs.
Well, it's not the shootout that we expected, but it is a tremendous game. Both defenses playing exceptionally well, a lot better than I thought they could. Interesting there to see Jim Crash Jensen throwing the pass. When he first got to the Dolphins, he was in fact a quarterback backing up Marino. Now he's Mr. Utility. Interesting to see Shula having the confidence he does in Dan Marino. With 7 seconds left on the clock, a lot of coaches would kick the field goal. Not Shula, Marino comes through, and guess who he throws to? Mark Clayton. Clayton, before this game, upset quite a lot of the Jets by guaranteeing that Miami would win. But if Marino and Clayton keep on coming together and making the big catches, I think you're going to see this swing towards the Dolphins. One thing I want to show you on the telestrator is why they've been so successful over the years. Here's Mark Clayton. Here is Dan Marino. Watch as he steps back and Clayton goes downfield. The timing of the pattern, you can't see Clayton out. Now Dan has just thrown the ball. Clayton has not even turned before Dan throws it. Boom, it's a first down. As we go to an isolation just on Clayton and Mike Brim, the defensive player for the Jets, Brim has to respect the speed of Clayton. Now the ball's already in the air before Mark turned around. Ball, bam, first down. And that is how the Dolphins are going to win. They've got under 10 yards rushing the ball today. I think Shula has got to say, no more rushing. Let's go to the air. Let's do what we do best. And I think if they do that, you could see the Dolphins pulling away. But you never know. The defense of the Jets is playing well, and who knows, O'Brien might get hot. Interesting fact, in the last 3 games, Marino has thrown 8 touchdowns, O'Brien 0. But it should be a great second half because there's everything to play for. But now it's time for our competition winner. And this week, we send our congratulations to a very special young man. David Moeller from South Glamorgan was the first name out of the bag. And David is a fan of the 49ers. And listen to this, he's only 7 years old. We've been told by his parents that he'll be asleep by now, but they're taping the program for him, and he'll get a chance to watch it tomorrow. Well done, David. I hope you enjoy the jacket, and maybe I'll see you in Minneapolis. For the second half of our game, and a whole lot more, join us after this break.
Time now to take a look at the NFL's end-of-season party, known as the Pro Bowl. Each year, a week after the Super Bowl, the league's best players from both conferences meet in an all-star exhibition game in Hawaii as the AFC battles the NFC. The Pro Bowl is highly regarded amongst players, as entry onto one of the teams is by ballot only, a vote taken amongst players and coaches of the NFL. Teams for the 1992 Pro Bowl were announced this week, and 2 perennial favourites had differing fortunes. Linebacker Lawrence Taylor, who has been to Honolulu every year since 1981, will miss his first Pro Bowl. In the same period, safety Ronnie Lott was absent only in 1985, but this year will make his debut for the AFC. Leading the American Conference will be quarterback Jim Kelly, who will be looking for Buffalo teammates Thurman Thomas and Andre Reed. Making their debuts will be Oiler Hayward Jeffries and New England tight end Marv Cook. The offensive line boasts plenty of experience, with Anthony Munoz and Mike Munchak having 13 Pro Bowls behind them. Defensively, there's 5 new faces. Houston's William Fuller starts at defensive end, and his fellow Oiler Al Smith at inside linebacker, together with San Diego's Junior Seau. Debuts in the secondary for another Oiler, Chris Dishman, and 9-year Charger veteran Gil Baird, both at corner. The AFC's kicking game is all new and comes from the Raiders, with Jeff Jager the kicker and Jeff Gossett the punter. Quarterback Mark Rippon leads the NFC with the powerful running of Barry Sanders and Emmitt Smith behind him. The rise of the Dallas Cowboys is reflected in the selection of wideout Michael Irvin and tight end Jay Novacek. On the line, the Bears center Jay Hilgenberg receives his 7th straight Pro Bowl nomination. The defense shows the dominance of Philadelphia and New Orleans. The front 3 are all Eagles, and their colleague Seth Joyner joins 3 of the Saints' Dome Patrol at linebacker. In the secondary, Atlanta Falcons cornerback Deion Sanders gets his first trip to Honolulu. And on special teams, a surprise call-up for Washington's Chip Lohmiller as kicker. Congratulations to them all.
Especially to you, Chip. I know you're excited about it. It's great to see so many new faces going to Hawaii. There's no greater individual honour than being voted by your peers to be the best. Well, now let's get back to Joe Robbie Stadium. The halftime score was 7 apiece. But on the first drive of the third quarter, the Dolphins took the lead when Pete Stoyanovich kicked this 23-yard field goal. We rejoin the action at the start of the Jets' next drive. They have a 1st and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
Johnny Hector with a good run, 10 yards across the 40. Cliff Odom finally makes the tackle on Johnny Hector, who's in at the running back spot now with the first half injury to Blair Thomas.
Nice hole off the left side here. Hector doesn't get touched until he gets into the secondary. Look at that hole. Oh, my goodness.
And again, we see the Dolphins' vulnerability to the running attack. Hector on the sideline with a little breather. 5 rushes, 31 yards, averaging over 6 a carry. Bryant's quick pass to Moore. Rob Moore gets to the outside. He's to the 45. Maybe the 46, a gain of 5 yards. 2nd and 4 for the Jets. They trail by 3. O'Brien. The ball batted down. Incomplete pass. David Griggs was all over Ken O'Brien. He tried to unload it. I think it hit a helmet of somebody.
I'm going to tell you something. O'Brien got lucky. That would have been intentional grounding because there's not a receiver anywhere around here. You watch O'Brien's looking downfield. Good coverage there. Now he's just going to turn and dump the ball, but there's not a receiver around here. Klingbeil deflects the ball and it goes back. Had he not deflected that ball, I believe they'd have called intentional grounding. There wasn't anyone over there.
Yeah, nothing but ineligible receivers. In fact, a couple of those linemen looked on aghast as that ball came through. 4 wide receivers. This is the Falcon formation. O'Brien's pass caught by Mathis. Mathis to the 25 of the Dolphins. Chris Green caught him from behind. Again, the Jets go across the middle for a clutch pass to Mathis, 27 yards.
Terrence Mathis just comes burning out of here and breaks in the middle. It's the pass protection afforded to O'Brien that gets Mathis open in the middle. There he is, cutting across. Nice catch. And then it's, boy, he's trying. Watch how the ball is nearly knocked out of his hands there. Number 42, Chris Green, tried to jar that ball loose, but Mathis held it.
They named that one the Doc play in honor of Dale Dawkins, the wide receiver who was involved in an automobile accident last weekend after they lost to the New England Patriots. He broke his leg. His career is threatened by the serious injury he suffered. And so they had a couple of plays today. They named the Doc in honor of Dale Dawkins. Coach Kozla said be sure and mention that and say hello to him back in New York watching the game. The Doc play works to Terrence Mathis across the middle for a clutch Jet first down. Here's a play-action pass, and O'Brien with plenty of time. Now decides to run and is caught from behind by Chuck Klingbeil.
And that is just good defense. Good defense in that secondary. O'Brien has plenty of time to come to a receiver. Look at this. But he doesn't have a receiver. These guys are all covered downfield. Boy, you got to credit that Miami secondary for doing a job that time. Anytime a quarterback has that much time, he's supposed to find a receiver, but he was covered. There's Klingbeil.
He played with Saskatchewan in the Canadian Football League and was the defensive most valuable player in their championship game, the Grey Cup. Draw play to McNeil. Freeman McNeil inside the 20 and down to the 18-yard line. Lewis Oliver stops him there and prevents McNeil from reaching the first down marker. And so now Raul Alegre is on to try to tie the game.
McNeil has a hole up here. early, but it closes quickly. See, Harden, 45, gets in there. Then Lewis Oliver, one of the best strong safeties in the league, gets in there. Or safety anyway, free safety, strong safety. He's so big, I think he's strong.
Allegre from 35 to tie. Low kick, but good. Raul Allegre signed this week. Pat Leahy injured, unable to go. And there is a penalty marker down. Allegre says it's against the Dolphins. It is a hold against Miami. That's an automatic first down.
Do you take the points off the board?
Whoa, what a decision here with,
it's easy.
with everything riding on it.
It's easy. Take the points off the board. Take the first down. Go down there and try and score a touchdown. It's all.
That was why you were a gunslinger when you were the quarterback.
Well, I know they're going to take the points off the board here. Gee whiz.
Well, Coslet's got O'Brien heading back to the field. That'll be his decision.
Holding. Number 54, defense. He pulled the man so the man could shoot the gap. Penalty accepted, 5 yards, automatic first down.
The veteran E.J. Jr. with a critical, perhaps, penalty, giving the Jets an automatic first down. And they will take the 3 points, the tying 3 points off the scoreboard, and try to score the touchdown. You know, that Allegre kick didn't look too good either. I don't know if I want to have to make him try one again.
You know he's got to be nervous. I know he's been through the wars. I know he was in the Super Bowl, and I know he can come through in the clutch. But, man, this team's counting on you. You're new on the team. You don't even know the players. You know all of them are looking at you. You've got to be nervous.
First down, Jets from the 13 of Miami. New York trailing by 3. And now the Jets having trouble hearing the snap count. Play action. O'Brien for the end zone. Out of it and incomplete. Intended for McNeil. David Griggs putting the pressure on O'Brien and took him down after he let the ball go.
Well, I'll tell you, this was good defense. Earlier in the game, the Jets were able to sneak a running back over the middle when the ball was overthrown to Hector. This time, the defenders are going to stay in there, and O'Brien just simply throws the ball away because there is no one open.
Now the fans try to do their part. Second down. McNeil finds an opening. He's inside the 5 and to the 2-yard line. The veteran Freeman McNeil bursting through a seam in the defense. Finally stopped by J.B. Brown. And Al Toon again with a big block helping to spring McNeil.
I tell you, that block that I guess it was tuned through, that was a tremendous block on the safety that time. Gee whiz, he just cut down the defender and opened a huge hole for McNeil. But let's find out what this penalty's about. Bringing Oliver to the sideline. This could be awful bad for the Miami Dolphins.
Boy, he is unhappy about something. Is he ejected from the game? Or maybe he has an equipment problem. Gordon McCarter hopefully will tell us momentarily. They don't want him out of the game. He's their leading tackler. Oliver still upset, explaining the situation to Don Shula. And no explanation from Gordon McCarter. We don't have any idea, folks, what happened, but the Dolphins' leading tackler on the sideline as the Jets have it first and goal from the 2. Baxter upended. He's to the 1-yard line. Cliff Odom got underneath Baxter, flipped him over to the 1.
But I'll tell you what it was. Oliver's going back in the game, Tom. He must have been hurt. He was shaken up the last play, and he had to leave the playing field for one play before he could go back in. They did stop the clock because he laid on the ground so long.
So it was either that or they had to take a timeout. They sent him out for one play. He was injured on the block by Al Toon. Took too much time, was out of the game, but now back. Oliver back on the field. Baxter, touchdown. Brad Baxter with his second touchdown run of the game and the 11th rushing touchdown he has this season, tops in the AFC. The Jets take 3 off the scoreboard and get the touchdown.
Just a huge hole. Baxter's not hit until he's about at the 1-yard line, then just falls into the end zone. Fine blocking up there by Dave Cadigan and Jeff Criswell on the left side of the Jets offensive line.
Well, what Baxter say? He wanted 4 touchdowns today. He's halfway there. Allegre for the extra point. This will look good. Best kick today by Raul Allegre through the uprights, and the Jets pass on the field goal, get the touchdown to lead 14-10.